We are back live in the Thomas & Mack Center and ready for the tail of the tape for the featherweight upcoming fight between Vasyl Lomachenko and Jose Ramirez. You can see the 2-year age advantage for Ramirez. Lomachenko has been busy representing Ukraine in international amateur boxing, winning 2 Olympic gold medals and racking up a historic record as an amateur. He's got a 2-inch height advantage. He's got equal arm length to Ramirez at 23 inches. He weighed in at 125, a pound under the featherweight limit, and Ramirez was a half-pound over. Tonight, unofficially, Ramirez goes up to 135 and will have a 6-pound weight advantage against the southpaw Lomachenko in the ring. What fighter on the planet could have greater incentive at this moment than Jose Ramirez, who is from Mexicali, Mexico? He has a record of 24-2-2. He's never made any money as a professional prize fighter. In his last official fight, he went to the Philippines to fight Ray Bautista, knocked him out for a win, and afterward, though promised a purse of $20,000, says that he left the Philippines with only $1,000. He knows that he's making 20 grand tonight and fighting against a guy who's making $100,000 in his professional boxing debut. He is clearly here as the B-side. He's in his first fight in the United States. And again, who could possibly have greater incentive than Ramirez?
Well, this is being billed as Lomachenko's pro debut, but in fact, he's had a half-dozen pro fights. Just because an amateur federation says we won't count them as pro. If you fight 5 rounds with no headgear and, most importantly, get paid, you're a professional. Larry Merchant, of course, had a great line. Considering Lomachenko told us he made about $80,000 US for those 6 fights, and Ramirez made $1,000 for his fight in the Philippines, this is actually Ramirez's pro debut. More than Lomachenko's.
A really great point. Lomachenko fought those 6 fights in an event called the World Series of Boxing. As Max points out, they were 5 rounds. They were without headgear. He claims they were with amateur-style gloves, not professional gloves. There are conflicting reports on that. The record-keeping services for boxing do not yet recognize them officially as professional fights, giving the promoter the chance to build this as his professional debut.
And it's not necessary. Lomachenko is a special fighter. Look, not everybody loves the sweet science. Many just want to see blood and guts warriors, and I like them as much as the next guy. But occasionally you have a chance to see a special kind of skillful fighter, and in Lomachenko, Roy, I think that's what we see.
That's exactly what you see. You don't often find a guy who can win, with the exception of Guillermo Rigondeaux, who can win 2 gold medals consecutively back-to-back in the Olympics. That's like having a LeBron James and a Kobe Bryant come through all at once.
And how about this, Roy? Reportedly, 396 amateur fights, of which he won 395.
And beat the guy who beat him twice.
It's a mind-blowing statistic. And we'll see if Lomachenko can bring something in his first appearance in a prize fight ring in America to underline all that hype and all that expectation which surrounds him at this moment. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the action continues courtesy of Wynn Las Vegas and brought to you by Top Rank Incorporated. This contest presented in association with All-Star Boxing, sponsored by Tecate Con Carácter, Wingstop, the Wing Experts, and Value Casa de Bolsa. The 3 judges scoring at ringside are Adelaide Bird, Lisa Jampa, and Dick Houck. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, Russell Mora. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing for the WBO International Featherweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with yellow, official weight 126 pounds. As a professional, 24 victories, including 15 knockouts, 2 defeats, 2 draws. He comes to us from Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico, the WBO International Featherweight Champion, Jose El Negro Ramirez. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing yellow with blue, official weight 125 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional debut. He is a two-time Olympic gold medal champion from Odessa, Ukraine. Дамы и господа, Vasyl Lomachenko.
One second. One quarterman.
Let's go, guys.
Little bit.
Okay, let's
Centering.
Gotta get you out. Let's go.
Okay, gentlemen. We went over the rules in the dressing room. Trunks here are good, trunks here are good. You know what I expect? A clean fight. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. God bless, touch up. Mouthpiece.
Correcting one sloppy piece of information. I told you on the way to the ring that Ramirez in his last fight beat Ray Batista in the Philippines. I said by knockout. It was not a knockout. It was a split decision. But the one ballot that went against him was so obviously a homer ballot that even the Filipino fans booed that particular scorecard. So clearly he was the obvious winner in the fight against Batista. Now he faces Lomachenko, who comes in with as big a reputation as we've seen for any amateur since Roy Jones, a distinction he probably shares also with Guillermo Rigondeaux, who's already a world champion in the sport.
Yeah, he has a hell of a reputation, Jim. I have never seen an amateur record so impressive in my life, and I think this has to be the best amateur record I ever seen. So I think the guy's going to live up to his expectations because he's already shown in those 5 previous fights that he has a hell of a future in front of him.
Slightly numerically better as an amateur record than Gennady Golovkin's 345-5. Although Golovkin's list of opponents is astonishing. Lomachenko does not throw a lot of punches. He fights at a Juan Manuel Marquez type pace, about 40-45 punches per round. And Ramirez is already down on one knee as the result of a right-hand body shot by Lomachenko.
8, 9. Come here. Give me your gloves. Good? Give me gloves.
And that was just a perfectly placed body shot of the kind that takes your legs away.
And that's very impressive, Jim.
Now I'm being told by the truck that it might have been a headshot. Lomachenko has fast hands. I may have miscalled it.
Watch your head. Stop!
Anytime you see a guy kicking his feet on the floor like he was, that's usually indication of a body shot.
I thought so too. But replay will tell the tale for sure. And we're now told that it's both, a body shot and a headshot.
But the body shot did the serious damage.
Ramirez has never been knocked out in his career. He's already been down in this fight. A minute still to go in the first round. And Ramirez seems to want to get back at Lomachenko, try to even the score just a little bit. That could be dangerous against a guy with great counterpunching skills.
Could be very dangerous against a guy like Lomachenko.
Ramirez is the aggressor. He's going to make Lomachenko work.
No.
Lomachenko doesn't have to feint and work and set up opportunities, as is sometimes the case for him.
And Ramirez is really trying to make this an interesting fight, Jim.
Well, he understands, as do all boxing experts at ringside. Lomachenko's never been 10 rounds in a prize fight ring. And that's going to be the question is, if he gets past round 5, how does he hold up to that? Great footwork, quick hands, precise offensive action. Lomachenko dominated the first round and knocked Ramirez down.
Okay. Vamos, mira. Cuando meta a la derecha esa, métete abajo y súbelo arriba, ¿ok? Con calma, no te desesperes. No te desesperes. Tú eres el campeón, ¿ok? ¡Ey, la vaselina! Calma, tú eres el campeón. Ponte la mano por calma, ¿ok? ¿Está bien todo?
He sees beautiful left uppercut to the solar plexus from Lomachenko. You can't ask for a better body shot, followed by a right hook to the ear, but that right hook to the ear didn't do nearly as much damage as that left body shot underneath did. And if it had, you see his knees buckle when he backed up. See that left body shot right there? It doesn't get any better than that.
Delayed reaction knockdown, and again, that's part of what told you that the body shot did the damage.
Exactly. You saw no buckling from the head shot. You saw him get the delayed reaction, then kick the floor once he was down.
So now round two gets underway. Lomachenko with an early scorecard advantage on the fight. Great combination by Lomachenko. The right hook landing flush against the cheek of Ramirez.
5-punch combination, Jim, something you very rarely see nowadays in professional boxing. And I was impressed because he said he went to the wild card gym. We asked him what was the one thing that he saw different from the gyms he's been going to. He replied and said that the boxers over in Europe are far more technical than the American fighters are nowadays.
More time in the wild card gym would probably serve him well, so that he can see some more of what you would call freestyle fighting, as opposed to what he's seen in Europe from all the technical fighters over there. Nothing wrong with being technically precise. Every once in a while, guys go to war.
Exactly. But that technical preciseness is what's causing us not to win medals as amateurs anymore in the Olympics. And Lomachenko will have to be in good shape tonight. Oh, goodness, good shot.
Another amazing combination.
To keep up this kind of pace against a guy who has been 10 rounds before.
And immediately after that brilliant combination, you saw Lomachenko's head movement skills as he perfectly ducked the two punches that Ramirez threw to try to get back at him.
And I'm very impressed by these 4- and 5-punch combinations, Jim. This is what I think a real prize fighter should be made of.
So given the increasing globalization of boxing and the increasing spread of talent all around the planet, you look harder and harder to try to figure out which fighters from foreign shores can duplicate what Manny Pacquiao achieved and become pay-per-view type stars in the United States. Vladimir and Vitaly Klitschko may ultimately have been able to achieve that, but they wound up making more money in Germany, and frankly, too much money in Germany to need to risk the chance of trying to become big stars here. A lot of people think that Gennady Golovkin may have the stuff to become a pay-per-view star in the United States. And then you have Lomachenko, who comes out with this vast reputation.
Все хорошо. Тут опять же, много принимаешь на себя. Постарайся вот чуть-чуть побыстрее на ножках. Чуть-чуть побыстрее на ножках. Протянул, пробил, разбил.
Yeah, you can go a little bit faster than you are right now. You're getting used to it, son, so go ahead. Jesse, you're doing well. Do faster, a little bit faster what you've been doing.
Here you see Lomachenko land a beautiful 5-punch combination with a throw. 1, 2, 3 of them landed perfectly. 4 landed high on the head, and the 5th one just grazed the opponent. But that's a beautiful 5-punch combination. Then when you have orthodox and right-handed fighter to fight, that left or lead foot sometimes gets tangled, and he went down from a knee-to-knee collision, not a knockdown.
A hot tackle by Ramirez. Lomachenko, by CompuBox count, landed 25 of 52 punches in the second round to 13 of 76 for Ramirez. 24 of Lomachenko's 25 landed punches were power shots.
Good.
So even though he
I see
is
that.
described and I
Time.
think well-defined as a technical fighter, he's
Watch
a
your head.
technical fighter who
Watch your head.
doesn't
Let's
have
go.
to rely on his jab. If you want to fight with him, he'll land power punches in return.
Yeah, he sure will. I think a headbutt just sent Ramirez to the canvas again. I don't like to see him go to the canvas so willingly, you know?
What does it represent to you?
It represents to me that he's not interested in staying on his feet. I mean, the last thing you want to do is go to the canvas. If the guy was on you and you needed a break from the head, but okay, but Lomachenko wasn't even on him. He just went to the canvas. You don't want to make a habit of going to the canvas, I don't think.
Cuidado, cabeza. Cuidado, cabeza.
Ramirez is still trying his hardest, though. He's not giving up here. He's really looking willing and capable of trying to pull off an upset. I don't think it'll happen for him, but he's trying.
Well, by comparison to Lomachenko, he's a wild swinger.
Exactly.
And as a result, he leaves himself open for countering opportunities, which Lomachenko answers not with one punch, but with 4 or 5.
Suéltalo, suéltalo. Stop! No.
Low blow.
You're gonna get your punches up, okay? Get him up. Let's go.
Other thing you have to respect here is that Ramirez did come in with a plan, you can tell. His plan was to try to push Lomachenko hard for a 10-round period since he has never gone 10 rounds before. So he does have a decent plan.
And we're only in round 3. And Lomachenko's never gone beyond 5. So it will be fascinating to see, as I said, what happens when we get to round 7, 8, and 9. But given the kind of athlete Lomachenko is, and there are already legends about things that he does in the gym, such as bouncing all the way across the ring, vertical, upside down on his extended gloves, as though the gloves were twin pogo sticks. And he's able to keep his balance while doing it. In fact, a dream of top-ranked promotions as a way of gathering attention for Lomachenko is to, at some point, bring him to the weigh-in and have him get on the scales upside down in a handstand. Beginning November 9, it's the 3-part series, 24/7 Pacquiao Rios. Follow both fighters as they prepare to meet live on pay-per-view November 23 from Macau, China.
Yeah, put your hands up a little bit, the left hook too. Try to move a little bit laterally faster a little bit. Don't worry about him too much. You can move better. Use your head.
Round 4 of a scheduled 10. Here in Las Vegas, Harold Letterman, how do you have it through the first 3?
Okay, Jim, I'm very impressed with Vasyl Lomachenko. I've got a 3-0, 30-26 Vasyl Lomachenko. You got to give him an extra point for the knockdown of round 1. And I got to tell you, his movement is sensational. His punches are sensational. The combinations are sensational. And his fast hands are incredible. Jim, I got one quick question for you. Why does Russell Mora keep talking to Ramirez in English? I mean, the guy's from Mexicali, never fought in the United States. You would think he has a hard time on English, and Russell Mora speaks Spanish. But be as it may, 3-0 Lomachenko.
It's a heck of a question, and there is no logical answer. Vasyl Lomachenko's trainer, incidentally, is his father, Anatoly Lomachenko. But his manager, Egis Klimas, acknowledged to me yesterday that Joey Gamache, who's serving as the chief second in the corner, who was himself an excellent professional prize fighter, who worked a great deal under the late, great Emmanuel Stewart, may ultimately become Lomachenko's professional trainer. And that there's a period of time now in transition where he'll get to know Lomachenko, get to see him in the gym, get to watch his father work with him, and ultimately, most likely, Lomachenko will transition himself to the professional training of Joey Gamache.
Jim, I was in the locker rooms doing interviews. Have you mentioned Lomachenko's front foot?
I have not mentioned Lomachenko's front foot, and you should tell us about it, Matt.
The way, as active as he is with that lead foot, Roy, he constantly gets position on the outside, and once he gets position, he has the angle to punch. He's in good defensive position.
Put your hands. Without cabeza.
I don't know if I've ever seen a front foot so active on a fighter.
Well, you know, there's so much mystique and so much talk about him. I got to ask you, were Bradley and Marquez watching Lomachenko?
No.
No. Okay. They got other work on their minds?
No. Serious business.
Serious business.
The right foot is always on the outside. Look, so he's always in punching. He always has the angle.
The one thing Ramirez can't do is sit back and let him bring the fight to him like this. If you let Lomachenko bring the fight to you, you're a dead man for sure.
I will tell you this, Max. He threw some combinations while you were gone that were mind-blowing. There is a touch of blood under Lomachenko's right eye.
Hands are free,
And
guys.
I'm looking to try to figure out exactly what that is. Maybe a cut on the right cheek of Vasyl Lomachenko. And that could have come from a punch or a butt.
Good body shot.
Oh, another body shot knocked down.
He won't recover from that one, I don't think.
I wonder whether Ramirez will get up from this one. That was a thunderous shot, and Rush Lamora is going to wave it off.
Ramirez went halfway across the world to beat Ray Bautista in the Philippines and gets stopped with one body shot by Lomachenko.
Phenomenal. You don't want to buy in too willingly to the hype, but that was a phenomenal looking performance by an extraordinary athlete.
Roy, real recognize real. As a special fighter, you know it when you see another special fighter. Do you see that in Lomachenko?
Without a doubt. I told you that I think after the first 5-punch combination I saw, you don't see many true fighters that can do that in this country anymore. He throwing 4 or 5-punch combinations, that's a real fighter right there.
They're built top rank. Bob Arum would like to make Lomachenko and Rigondeaux before too long, maybe another fight or two.
And I would like to see it before too long because that will have to be the first time in history that we see two-time gold medalists at war and a professional fight.
Fighting on a professional level, extremely high level.
Well, as we mentioned, that was billed as his professional debut. The plan is for him to fight for a title in the next fight. Roy, take us through the replay.
Well, right there you saw him counter with 3 body shots, basically. The last one landing the best. The last one was the one that Ramirez was least expecting. Right there, left, right, followed by another left at the end. And Ramirez was about to throw his own punch, caught him right off guard, not set, not almost ready for the shot, and that's why it did so much damage to him.
Legendary nights. Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward coming up on October 19th. That shot reminds you of the punch that Gatti used to knock out Leonard Doreen. A left-hand body shot directly on the solar plexus.
What a beautiful punch.
So the blood on the right cheek doesn't matter now, as Vasyl Lomachenko has a TKO victory. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 59 seconds of round number 4. The winner by knockout victory, winning his professional debut and winning the WBO International Featherweight Championship, the fighting pride of Odessa, Dame Gospoda, Vasyl Lomachenko.
Final CompuBox numbers. Lomachenko landing 43% of his punches and landing several of them in bunches, 4 and 5 punch combinations, as we've been gushing about since the second round. Ramirez limited to a 20% connect percentage, demonstrating that Lomachenko has defensive skills as well to go with his great offensive talent. Power shots, Lomachenko landing 55%. How many times have we told you that if a guy lands more than half his power shots, he's likely to win the fight? Lomachenko getting hit 31 times to the body, landing 17 body shots of his own against Ramirez, And when 17 landed body shots produce 2 knockdowns, that's pretty efficient work to the body by Lomachenko. And now let's go to Max Kellerman in the ring with the winner.
That was a lot of fun to watch. What kind of a grade do you give yourself for that performance?
Было очень интересно смотреть твой бой. Как ты думаешь, что ты с какой...
Еще раз.
Что был очень интересный бой.
Да.
Как ты его видел? Что ты сказал про него?
Ну, на самом деле у меня была задача отбоксировать 10 раундов для того, чтобы прочувствовать всю дистанцию профессионального бокса, так как это был мой дебютный бой. Я должен был постараться пройти всю дистанцию. Ну, немного не получилось, рука сама как бы вылетела и так.
It's my first fight as a professional. I wanted to give a good match. I tried to keep my distance, but it didn't happen that way exactly.
How did you get the cut? I didn't see.
Я не знаю, ну, скорее всего, что опустил руки, как в боксе это бывает, и, скорее всего, что это головой пропустил.
It was a headbutt. I really don't know when it happened.
You mentioned this is your first professional match, but you were in the World Series of Boxing, had half a dozen fights for which you were paid, no headgear, 5 rounds, didn't score any knockouts. Here, you knock out a very tough professional with 1 body shot. Can you explain?
Ты когда был в аматер, ты не имел ни один нокаут. А сейчас первый раз один удар, и ты сделал нокаут.
Мы когда с вами разговаривали тогда, в первый раз, я вам сказал, есть отличия в перчатках и в тейпах.
I was telling you that I have the power for it, and I'll do it.
Why didn't it show up in the World Series of Boxing, but it showed up tonight?
Почему это не показало, когда был в чемпионате любовный?
Потому что там такие же перчатки, как и в любителях, я говорил об этом.
Because of the gloves, like I explained, you can close your fist with the other gloves, with amateur gloves.
Top Rank, your promoter, has Bob Arum's been talking about you and Rigondeaux in the not too distant future. What are your thoughts about that fight?
Что Боб Арум говорит, что ты и Rigondeaux скоро будете опять иметь бой. Что ты думаешь насчет этого?
Я думаю, что Ригондо это великий боец, он очень сильный, и я думаю, что мне нужно провести еще несколько боев для того, чтобы встречаться с таким мастером, как он.
I think it will be fine. I'll need a couple more fights before we go about it.
Is that out of respect? Is that out of respect for Rigondeaux's professional skill at this point?
Это что ты его уважаешь, Ригонфол?
Кого?
Ригонфол, ты его уважаешь?
Ригон, конечно.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you and congratulations. Tremendous performance. Okay. You have a well-earned reputation as a tough professional. You went halfway around the world to beat Bautista in his hometown. Here Lomachenko stops you with 1 body shot. Tell me about his quality as a fighter.
Es un peleador muy rápido, con mucha experiencia, muy certero, y pues sí me conectó bien a la boca del estómago. Ya no me pude recuperar de ese golpe.
He's fast, he has lots of experience, he's got the power, and I couldn't continue after a shot to the solar plexus.
Thank you. Jim?